Welcome back to Operation GameCube, the channel where I attempt to rebuild my GameCube collection of my childhood for no money out of pocket for reasons I detail up here in Chapter 1. And when I left you in the last chapter, I was at, well, I guess the lowest point I've been at on this whole adventure. While I successfully closed that episode buying one of my favorite games, Luigi's Mansion, it was not because I had a boom in my finances. I floundered miserably trying to make money on a Wii Fit and balance board. I lost money. I found myself in a moralistic quandary. It was not great, and I was all the way down to $36 in the budget. But I have 8 of the 20 games that I've set out to get. And as I sit down and look at my remaining budget, which is, as I said, $36, and the remaining games list, I thought there was a chance I could thread the needle, blank that budget out to 0, reach 10 of 20 games, and have a bit of a reset moment. So I'm going to do that. This is a little bit of a different episode. We're not going on a financial adventure to try to make money with a bunch of harebrained schemes. We're buying 2 games, and we're talking about the midway point. So without further ado, let's buy 2 games. And you know, $36 is not a lot of money in the world of GameCube collecting, but I had a few titles on my list that were not $50, $60, $70 games like some of the ones that have been bought already and that remain to be bought. The first one, so as I said, I had $36. The first one I got for $18, and I think I kind of stole it. It's SSX Tricky. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this game, it is a snowboarding game. I loved this one as a kid. It was super fun. This copy, as you can see from these pictures, it's in pretty good shape. I've learned a lot about eBay sales. I bought this one on eBay. The guy who sold this listed it as untested. Yeah, there's some scratches on here, but I mean, there's no reason to believe it's not going to play, and it plays perfectly. I think he kind of hurt his bottom line there, but I'll take it. $18 out the door. Really excited to get this and add this to the games list as the 9th game that I've been able to buy, and that left me with about $18, and I spent every dollar, 18 of them, on the second wild card that we're going to fill in. This time it's going to go to the movie tie-in game for $18 out the door. I picked up Star Wars Rogue Squadron, Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2. Yikes. Weird bad name, great game. This is a game that was actually a launch title with the GameCube, and it still is, heralded as one of the more kind of interestingly beautiful graphical representations on the GameCube, so really impressive that this was a title that came out at launch. I have played Rogue Squadron games. I haven't played this one. It follows, I guess, the narrative arc of the first 3 original Star Wars movies. Again, really good quality disc, complete with manual, so $18 out the door. This is not a pricey game. You can find copies for this kind of in that low teens, mid-20s range, but I was really happy to get this for $18. It's a movie tie-in game, kind of. I guess I'm cheating a smidge there. A lot of games that came out in the early thousands were like 1-to-1 with movie theatrical releases. I think I joked in my Chapter 3 games list about Shark Tale, the game, which was both a game and a movie, and both were bad. But Rogue Squadron, it's a movie tie-in. Sure it is, right? It's thematically tied to a movie. It's counting. It's getting added to the list. So let's bring that games list up, and let's fill in SSX Tricky, and let's fill in that wild card over there, Rogue Squadron. And how about that? We are at the halfway point in games, 10 of 20, and I have $0 in the budget, which is kind of fun. I'm happy I'm at that point. As I said, a bit of a midway point, a bit of a reflection. So let's reflect, shall we? I'm going to reflect in a couple of ways. I want to talk a little bit about just buying GameCube games again. Having these 10, what has playing them been like? Have I enjoyed it? Have I had time to? I want to talk a little bit about how the challenge has gone. What's been fun? What's not been fun? What have I enjoyed? And then from that lens, going forward, how do I hope the next 10 games go? So let's start with buying and playing games. I'll tell you what, it's been fun to revisit my childhood. Shocker, right? I have not played all 10 of these games. I have not had time or energy to do so, but I've played a lot of them. I would say kind of in order: Certainly I've played the most of Pikmin. Then I've gotten my feet pretty wet in Luigi's Mansion, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Kart Double Dash. And I've dabbled in a handful of others. I've played, a round or two of Mario Party with my wife. And I've played, a little bit of Mario Golf. And then there are some that I haven't touched. I haven't touched Paper Mario. That was one of the first ones I picked up. Haven't touched it. Would love to. Frankly, haven't played Rogue Squadron yet. But I just picked that one up. I beat Pikmin. I didn't think I would sit here and say I beat a game on my list. I beat Pikmin. I didn't beat it as a kid. I will tell you, it's really fascinating to play games that you have a memory of as a child, haven't touched in 20 years, and play them again. I remember Pikmin. I'm going to go on a little bit of a narrative here on Pikmin, and then we'll move on from reflecting on games. For those of you who haven't played Pikmin, you play as this kind of guy who got crashed, landed on a alien planet, and he's got to rebuild his ship. He's got a limited supply of oxygen. He's got basically 30 days, and he gets these little creatures called Pikmin to kind of help him. It's basically a bunch of fetch quests. So that's a video game term, right? It's for going and finding something and bringing it back. And you're doing a bunch of fetch quests. You're going and getting the parts of your ship, solving puzzles, killing bad guys, and collecting your Pikmin army along the way. When I was a kid, I thought the game was about building your Pikmin community and kind of, not that they have a personality per se, but just kind of, stewardship and shepherding these creatures. Now, as an adult, I realize this is a game of resource management and nothing more and nothing less. It's a very different lens to look at. Because you have these 30 days and there's a finite amount of time, and you have these Pikmin and they are expendable literally in the purpose of the game. And I have this memory burned in my brain as a kid, going out probably halfway through the game with a bunch of Pikmin, going to fight some enemies, not really understanding how to address this certain enemy, and him kind of squashing like 60 or 70 of my Pikmin, and me just being devastated. And I was mad, and I was frustrated, and I shut off the game, and I didn't ever beat the game. Now I've played this game through, and I realize that is a necessary evil of the game. There are days in these 30 days where you are all about gathering supplies. There are days in these 30 days you're all about creating more Pikmin, and there are adventures that you need to accept that you will have more success if you let a bunch of them die. If you look at it as resources, the Pikmin, the things you got to get, and the days you have to do it, it's a very different game. And I think that's like adulthood creeping in to playing these types of games. I don't know if that's good or bad. It's just how I felt playing it. I beat it. It was fun. I'm glad I beat it. The other games, I'm just, poking around in. Mario Sunshine, I love it. It's super fun. Obviously, Luigi's Mansion's got a soft spot for me. I really enjoy it. It's super fun to go back to, remember little moments, remember little things. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm happy to have the 10 games I have, and there are a lot remaining that I'm excited to pick up. Let's talk about what this challenge has been like. It's been weird, right? It's been really liberating in a weird way. I feel very free to spend this money on this frivolous stuff because I'm making this money for this frivolous purpose. So I'll buy Luigi's Mansion on a Friday afternoon because an eBay auction is ending. Would never have done that normally, right? But because I've created this framework and this kind of safe financial space to be aggressive financially because of this purpose, that's been kind of fun. I don't think that's going to permeate my standard way of living, but it has been fun. Making money has also been really fascinating because I've done some weird things, right? I've sold swampy golf balls. I found ways to, I wouldn't say scam gambling apps out of money, but, get some money out of them. I've failed miserably with things like the Wii Fit resale. I've slogged through really painful things like the online surveys. It's been an adventure, and it's been a challenge to continue to find new and different revenue streams. I think I want to try to do a couple of things going forward. First and foremost, I'd love to take bigger swings. I don't want to try to nickel and dime anymore. I think I've set up a few revenue streams that will continue to nickel and dime, particularly some of the resale things. that the money will continue to flow into this challenge, at least in small parts, if I wouldn't say nothing, very little new work. Not enough to complete the list. I need to find new revenue streams to complete the list. I mean, I've got hundreds of dollars of spending left. But there will be some nickel and diming that comes in. I want to take some bigger swings. I want to find some ways to make more money by maybe taking some risk, not financial risk outside of the pocket of the money I have to play with, but maybe I'll spend some money to make some money, right? I'd also love to get out from behind my phone. I think my phone is both the easiest path to making money as well as the most various in opportunity. So I don't think there's any future I'm not behind my phone in part to make money, but I don't exactly know what I mean. I mean, I'm not thinking I'm going to go get a part-time job at a fast food joint, but I'd like to do more things in person with people in some way. I don't know what that means. I want to try to do that in part 2. I want to do something, maybe build something, sell something I build, maybe get a second. I don't know. I'm probably not getting a second job. But something. I want to get out from behind my phone, at least in part. So those are my goals for part 2. I don't think there are another 10 episodes. I think I will probably close out the next 10 games quicker because I will see the end in sight, and so I will spend whatever money I have down faster. And again, if I'm lucky on having some big swings, maybe I'll make some more money in bigger chunks. So while this is the thematic halfway point, in the fact that I am both at the $0 mark and at the 10 of 20 games mark, I don't believe this is the episode midway mark. I think that's probably behind us. But hey, enough of me rambling at you with no fun extras going on. Like I said, this is a bit of a different episode, but it's my reset moment. It's my halfway mark. I got no money. I've got half my games, and I need to start in on the second half of Operation GameCube to complete my challenge. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've had a little fun in this episode reflecting with me. If you haven't watched the previous episodes, go ahead and, I don't know, hopefully where I pointed is where something pops in, for watching at least chapter 1 to understand what the heck I'm doing here and why I'm talking to you. And then maybe you have some fun along the way watching some episodes. Give this video a like, a comment, subscribe. I love to hear from you if you have a thought along the way. And tell me what game that I haven't bought yet I should, because I got 10 more to buy. All right, I'll see you next time.